You stupid. You get on my nerves. You really get on my nerves.
Am I lying?
No, you're not. That's the crazy part.
I said, that's what I called him. I had an epiphany. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, put me in.
On pause. You make me so sick. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Unscripted Podcast with Clyde and
Tanya.
Tanya.
Clyde.
Whatever. Just like that. Welcome, y'all. Listen, thank you for the new followers. Everyone that's rocking out with us. We thank you for being a part of this. But make sure you like, you share all of that great stuff. We're going to be talking about something today, and I think it's so important because, number one, it's my birthday month. Whatever. Don't roll your eyes. It is my birthday month. It is my birthday month. But I wanted to talk about this. I think this is so important because this is something we're dealing with right now. Yes, we talked about business last time, but I'm finding out this unscripted is just that, right? Unscripted. And I just think life lessons are so important to just kind of share even as you're going on the journey. And the reason why I said birthday month, I was just playing around, but I do love my birthday. But I realize that as I'm getting older, as we're getting older, that our parents are getting older. Our parents are getting older. And so with that, we've experienced a lot this year, not just within ourselves, within business. I'm excited to say and proud to say that even with our parents, we've been able to bless them in ways that we wouldn't have never thought that we would be able to do so. And I believe that's because of having a business, trying to be good stewards, all of that stuff. And so we kind of want to talk about that today. You know, when you become, we're in our 40s, okay? And when you become the caregiver to your parents as they're getting older, I'm so excited that we moved back home close to my mom, my dad, closer to our parents.
Jeez, even my uncle now. The fact that we're even being caregivers or even word we're going to hear a lot about today, advocators, even for my uncle.
Right. That part. No, that part. Like I think especially with one of the things that you're experiencing now with your mom. My dad just had surgery. Yeah. And your mom is going through cancer. And it is not an easy role when you're trying to move forward and you want to be there, but you want to make sure that even as a son or a daughter, that you're still able to make sure you're able to provide for them. So I kind of want to talk about that, becoming old, getting older, and now you're, taking care of.
Not just getting older, becoming responsible.
Responsible. That's good.
I'm 46 years old. And I did not, Devin, I think you've been advocating for your mom for many years since she had.
Sure, we should have got Devin on the mic.
Yeah. He could probably teach me some stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the key thing, right? The key dynamic is there's a major dynamic to this because, I thank God for where I am. This podcast is an open podcast and I never will demoralize anybody. But me and my mom didn't have a relationship and we still don't have a relationship that like we should, but that didn't get a chance to be the factor here.
No.
So, my mom was sick. My mom, for long story short, my mom raised me, did a great job raising me. And as we got older, some things happened. Me and my mom probably went, maybe from 9th grade to about a year.
Why I hear her cussing you out right now?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
From 9th grade, she cussed me out yesterday, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Baby just sitting up there cussing.
That's the first time my mom cussed me out since I was in school.
Really? She cussed you out twice.
She told me, she's like,
the whole preacher.
You better send your they make her sit down and pee. You try to sit your narrow down. Sit your down somewhere. I'm like, Mama. But anyways, Mama,
she's so funny.
But we haven't had a relationship really like that, right? Since 9th grade, since 8th grade. We really haven't had a relationship, and we've been rocky and everything. But when you get to this world that we're in, my mom don't have. I got 2 brothers, one in Oklahoma, one down here, and I'm the responsible one. And I don't get a chance to say, Mom, I don't like you.
Oh, that's so good. Come on.
I don't get a chance to say, I could.
Yeah.
But who in their right mind would watch their mom? My mom brought me into this world.
Right.
Know what I was saying? And mom could see me out.
Right.
And so she even though she didn't like me all the time, she still advocated for me as a child.
Mm-hmm.
She made sure I made it. So now
Yeah, she worked, from what I heard, she worked multiple jobs,
multiple jobs.
Yeah.
And as soon as we could walk, talk, and cook, it was like, okay, I got a little freedom. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause she started young, young with us. But as we went through now, my mom is sick. And luckily we kind of rekindled our relationship a little bit. But I've learned a lot over the last year. It's been about a year.
It's been about a year.
So it's just, the main thing I found out is that I don't get a chance to be angry with her.
Yeah.
And I just challenge you, at some point, we talk about therapy,
Yeah.
At some point, man,
I think therapy helped you with your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it did. It did opposite with others, but
yeah,
it helped you.
And that's what I tell you. So this is what I would tell you, first of all, from this podcast, from this experience. We like to share our experience with you. If you don't have a relationship with your parents, or watch this, if you don't have a relationship with your children, make sure you repair it. Because picture you getting old and the attitude you got with your children, who gonna be there for you?
Oof.
I had to walk my mom around. She was naked yesterday. Her front was covered, but I had to see my mom's, I had to be exposed to my mother.
Yeah.
I won't want nobody to be exposed to me but my children.
Right. Nobody but my kids.
And so to see the things we're going through, and feel free, baby, to kind of tailor this, because there's a lot I can share.
Yeah.
I can get going. But one thing I'd say is that, if you don't have a relationship with your parents, fix it.
Yeah.
And listen, don't fix it to the point to where you got to overcome and just ignore. No, I say just at least get to the point to where you can tolerate. You need a sense of toleration. And if you got to go to therapy to get the sense of toleration, you got to be able to tolerate.
But I will say tolerate to a point to where now if they picking, like, no, that's not that. I'm not going to let you abuse me.
No.
Mentally, in my peace.
Yeah.
But to be able to do that. But I will say this, because I know, and I know with my own, I'm saying that for me. But I will say this, even when I looked at my dad, and for a year, my dad walked around with this limp forever, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, this is not normal for him to walk around. He's going to the doctors, doing what he's doing. And one day I just asked, Dad, can I go to the doctor with you? Let me go to the doctor with you. And my mom, she was doing everything and she knows her husband. So this is not to knock anyone. Lord, I hope these parents' house don't come after us.
Come on.
This our podcast. Don't play.
While my wife is talking, look up the word advocate, because I want to talk about the word advocate, because this is what you finna say right now. Do you realize you advocated for your father?
Yeah, I felt like after I left there, I felt like that I advocated for him because of the decision.
Do you realize the fact that you said, Dad, can I go to the hospital? That word, the fact that you said that.
Okay. No, I didn't realize that.
That was the beginning of advocating.
Okay.
Listen, we got to watch this here, right? I was at my uncle's house the other day. The word advocate, by definition, it says, at its core, advocate means to publicly support, defend, or argue for a specific cause, policy, or person. The world changes slightly depending on whether you use it as an action, word, or a noun to advocate. So I'm saying it again, it means to publicly support, defend, or argue for a specific, I'm gonna say person, for a specific person. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's defending, here you go, D, and sometimes it's defending against them own selves. Yeah. I met my uncle's house the other day, and I want you to come back and talk about your dad. Mm-hmm. But I met my uncle's house the other day, and he had failed. Mm-hmm. And I remember him mentioning to me a while back he had failed, and I kind of forgot about it, And then I asked him again. He said he had failed again. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, oh, guess what I'm going to do for you? We're going to get a life alert for you. Mm-hmm. As you go through life, you don't think you really do need help until someone tell you, hey, I'm not going to ask you. I'm gonna defend you against your acceptance of getting old, your acceptance of getting enabled. Listen, they'll keep getting keys and driving. Sometimes you gotta advocate for them. Say, give me them keys.
Right.
So that's important.
Yeah, I almost had to tell my daddy that the other day. I called him and told him, I want the dad. If you watching this, I want to whoop his behind. I'm like, I know you didn't go out here driving when you just had surgery, which he didn't. Come to find out, they told him he rode on the lawnmower a little bit. He shouldn't have been doing that at all. But whatever. So we had somebody else come and do the lawn for him, but it is what it is.
And think about that as us as I just talk about our culture. I know we got other cultures watching us, but I know the substance of our culture. Our culture is we so hands off. And listen, I'm not pointing the finger. Me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just know after seeing him, I think it was 2 years my daddy walked around like that.
2 years.
About 2 years.
We started
accepting that, Daddy, you need to get a cane. You know, this is where he's getting older. And I'm like, wait a minute, my daddy just in his 60s. He is not old. He is a young man. I knew, okay, if you're constantly going to these doctors, maybe just having another ear in this room with y'all and having that ear in there, we started the process. We thought it was his veins. Didn't know it wasn't even the veins. And that's another thing. I'm listening to doctors.
You can't trust them.
Understand. I'm not going to say don't trust them, baby. That's a strong word.
No, I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Devin, can I say it?
Oh my God.
Listen, today, now, baby.
Devin, I feel like Devin need a mic with us.
I almost do, man. But listen, today, now watch this, baby. I went to the hospital yesterday. Called them doctors out yesterday.
I was
Called
there.
them nurse out yesterday.
Yes.
And yesterday she was unstable and all this. And I called them out. And all of a sudden today they finna transfer her.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, riding the insurance, I'm gonna come back and talk about this in a minute. Riding the insurance, having one doctor at the next, sucking her dry. And now all of a sudden I say, oh, blase, blase, blase. And now they say today, oh, it's time to transfer out. Overnight?
No, I'm going to say exactly what you said. You basically went there yesterday and asked them the question, why we're not moving her into the facility that's going to give her the recovery that she needs. In order to, and they said, well, no, we can't move her because of, her blood and all this stuff. And it was like so major yesterday that she couldn't move, but today she can.
My mom went to the doctor 14 days ago. And in 14 days, she had 3 different doctors.
Yes.
Every doctor gave me a different reason. Watch this here. Every doctor gave me a reason because I asked.
Right.
A different reason why she couldn't be transferred out. If I wouldn't have asked or aka advocated for her, they would have kept going. And listen, Devin, the doctor yesterday said he was keeping her at the hospital. My mom, ever since she was at the hospital, she declined. And that's another thing. If your parents at the hospital, the longer the hospital, they will decline. And she has MRSA because she been at the hospital. But Devin, the doctor yesterday said, I'm keeping her because her kidney function is off. So I asked her, maybe her kidney function is off because she got cancer. You know she got cancer, right? She's like, huh? Oh, yeah, I looked at her record.
I wish I could see Devin's face. She said, I want to say this, though. I want to say this, and I think this is the thing. I think that, like you said, with this word, like advocating, you got to be willing. It's not that when... I don't want people not to go to the doctor. This is why doctors are here. You want to go to the doctor, but you want to also ask questions, literally put down medication. That's what I learned with my dad, like putting down all the different medications. I had to do it with Madison. Thank God I had it. All the medications are in my notes, what she's taking, how she's, even when she was in the hospital, what is she taking? What time is she taking? And that's what I saw you do with your mom. I say that to say this, is that I don't want us to fault doctors, but I do want us to ask questions. And that's what I had to do, was ask questions. This joker didn't rewind, but then he didn't rewind. Here. Oh, because, Lord Jesus.
Listen, I'm going to be 100% right? I'm a contractor. And I'm an honest contractor. But you better not let me build your house without holding me accountable.
Okay.
The more you hold me accountable, the more it's going to make me hold my contractors accountable.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, human error is human error. Mm-hmm. Humans not only make error, humans are error. And if they got room and you give it to them, they're going to take advantage of it. So my mom is in the hospital. Now, this is key. This is very important. This is why you got advocating means also you got to stay updated on their status. You can't just make a noise. Daddy, you need to go to the doctor. You got to be willing to also make a presence.
All right.
Then you got to also make sure you keep an update. So watch this here. Didn't know this, Devin. My mom is in the hospital. She has a record. that they're keeping with her. You think that record will be fully noted. You think they're making notes, especially with common, you got AI today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So AI, they could be recording everything they're saying and dictating it and just pasting it into the file. At least you have, then you can go through and do a summation with AI to see what's going on. I go and I find out every day, Devin, 13 days, every day she had a different nurse. Every day a different nurse, every 7 days a different doctor. Every doctor not getting the fact she even had a oncologist, a cancer oncologist. So the doctor is just looking at high-level notes on what's going on. The nurse don't know anything is going on besides what the last doctor told them. I'm talking to a nurse yesterday. The nurse is like, oh yeah, these are good questions. Oh yeah, these are good questions. Oh yeah, these are good questions. It's like she's brand new. All she was doing was babysitting. The nurse is not an advocator. I thought the nurse was supposed to advocate for our parents, but the nurse only babysit the parents.
Mm-hmm.
They do what the doctors do. And you should have heard some of the conversation I had with the doctors. But by me holding the nurse accountable, it made the nurse ask the doctor questions, which made the other doctor ask the other doctors. Kind of find out she had 5 doctors who random was on her case, but none of them actually talked, which leaving my mom in a condition where she's vulnerable to the ignorance of them.
Yeah. And I think too, even when it comes to advocating, is making sure that someone is always there, especially in the hospital. You know, I got this big thing, like if I'm in the hospital or someone is in the hospital, you want to make sure you're there, that there's a rotation. And I think that's where family plays comes into play, to where you want to be able to rotate. We did it with my grandmother because I remember being in the hospital in the mistreatment. Now, again, not knocking nobody, but they didn't know her. I knew her, but they didn't know her, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a different type of feel, to where I knew that she had Alzheimer's. But even with my dad, it was going in there, asking the questions, being able to be in there, be a part of that. And then as my mom was getting ready, when he got ready for surgery, even while he was in surgery, it's just, you have to, I don't know, you got to ask questions.
I don't want you to feel like, and I feel like a piece of you feel like that you're knocking your mom, but let me.
No, I'm not knocking my mom. I feel like we're knocking doctors and nurses, and I don't want to set that in place.
I'm not telling them not to go to the doctor. I'll make sure I'm not saying I go to the doctor.
Okay.
But I'm saying that doctor only going to see a slither. They're going to see just a slither of your mom. They didn't know that my mom was mentally unstable. Like before my mom went to the hospital, my mom was in the right mind. In 7 days, she had 13 days, she had 3 different doctors. And the doctor that came in, the last 2 doctors, think that her mental condition is a normal condition. Only the first doctor, who was only there for 1 day for her, knew her mental condition. The rest of them did not realize that she was declining because she transitioned. No one made notes in the system. What I'm saying is that it's not the jobs of the doctor to advocate. It's not the job of the nurse to advocate.
Right, that
it's
part.
It's your job to be there.
As a daughter, as a son, it is your job to be able, as a family member,
I'm sorry, I'll cut you off.
No, that's okay.
I want to make sure I say this part because with the parent, your mom, because even with your mom is older. Technology is moving like this.
Right.
So when she gets in there, those doctors moving, iPads, this conversation languages, everything. And for you know it, your mom is trying to keep up, but this stuff is going like this over her head.
Right.
And we got to understand, just because mama's there with dad, just because dad's there with mom, you need to be there because she's thinking like, dang, I got to go home. I got to prepare. I got to do this. And she might be missing something. Right. Somebody needs to be there recording the whole conversation.
Well, I got to give it to my mama. She's a recorder. She's yeah, buddy. She going to record. But even in that, just being there in that room and, okay, we got to have some solutions to this. This is not normal for my dad to be walking around with a limp and like this. It's starting to become normal, and this is not him. Yeah. And daddy, do you want to get better? Let's find out what's another treatment. And even though we did multiple treatments that was in his veins, it helped for a moment. But come to find out, I'm like, okay, it gotta be something else. Let's check out his hip. Let's do an MRI. And not knowing that these things are not because I think different. And when you think different as a I don't know, because I want my kids to think different too when I get older and be able to think for me if I'm not able to think on that level or the different things that need to be done. And I think that's what got my dad to the point of getting surgery, because I was constantly asking and wanting to know from my mom. Did we do an MRI? Did we do an x-ray? I don't think he did. He didn't have one. So, okay, let's get that MRI. Let's get that x-ray. He get the MRI. Come to find out it's his hip. It's his whole time. David, I'm like, dude, we done all these vain things, and it's actually your hip. But if you're not having this conversation, now my dad, he's moving around and he's like, I feel better than I ever felt before, and he feels good, and I'm at peace knowing that he's okay.
And you don't need, once again, you don't need the credit of, it's because I stood up for my daddy.
No.
And I think some people think that, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that
I'm just glad my daddy is looking like himself again. I think after surgery, I was going over there every day, and then I stopped because I'm like, man, he's back to himself. He's not fully recovered, but, and I got to remind him, don't get on these lawnmowers, don't get on these tractors. You literally become the caregiver to your parents. And I think it should be that way. Yep. I think it should be that way, that you become the advocate for them to a certain extent. Not Sharon, if you're watching this, they be a whole mess and a half. Brother David, these parents be out here, what they say, life be life, and parents be parenting. Yeah. They are stubborn.
My mama gave
when I say if y'all watch this, all you baby boomers, y'all stubborn. Yeah. Just stubborn in their ways.
Mama cussed them folks out. She talked.
Oh my God.
I think she was trying to hold her tongue while I was there, but I know she cussed them women out.
Man.
That woman told me yesterday, I said, you ought to thank me since I've been here, because she ain't hit that button as much. She said, oh, thank you. My mama lived on that nurse button. That woman came in there 4 times yesterday. Someone stop hitting that button, man.
I said it's too much, but even with that, my dad, he's just, no, I got it. No, you don't. Be still.
So with that being the case, I want to make sure I highlight this. So, you know, as you're advocating, right? Number one, like I say, our parents don't know, but you got to watch them. You got to start noticing, mama not acting like mama, dad not acting like daddy. You know, uncle not acting like uncle, Auntie ain't acting like Uncle Auntie. You know, we got to start just looking at them, and we got to stop just embracing they getting old. My father-in-law, she say, is 60, 63, 64.
No, Papa was 67.
67? But he was walking like he was 80.
Yeah.
And even though I'm saying doctors don't know, and doctors will drain your insurance if you let them, because I believe them doctors who was doing all them tests and stuff, they would drain his insurance. And Papa even said, they just want my insurance money. Then I help him.
Yeah, he do say that.
And I think we responded to his frustration. And listen, we're not telling you we had this figured out. This is all repercussions of us not knowing.
Yeah, I would say this, having that sitting down and having that conversation with your loved ones, especially when you see that they're not, you know, doing or moving like they know. Not that, because life gonna happen because you get older, but having that conversation, I believe having that conversation with Papa. Papa is my dad, my daddy. He was like, I was like, Papa, how do you feel? Do you want to get better? He was like, yeah, I want to get better. I'm tired of being like this. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's start the process of finding out exactly what, and that's where sitting down, having that family conversation. My mom was there. I don't know if my sisters were there, but my nephews were there. And just having this conversation with him, I think that, and you were there, and just sitting down and seeing what did he want. Because I didn't want to, and this is another thing, even though you're going to advocate for them, you don't want to treat them like they're children. No. You don't want to treat them like they're like they lost their mind. No, you want to have a conversation with them to see what is it that you want to do. Yeah. You know, what is it that you're trying to do? Even with my dad, he has land. We had a conversation the other day. Daddy, I understand, and my mom, hey, I understand, you know, they have land, they have, you know, stuff that he done built for his grandchildren and ourselves. He's leaving a legacy for us. So Daddy, Mama, sit down, tell us, what are your passwords? What do you want us to do?
I want to talk about that.
What's your next level?
I want to talk about that. Before I talk about that, because I want to come back to that right there where you are. Okay. But I want to say one thing real quick, because about the health piece, because I think that there could take us in another direction. Okay. Because I want to talk about how we sit down with our kids. But I want to talk about the health thing, because right now is that we don't know the whole advocating. Also, I'm 46 years old, and I'm still now just trying to figure things out about, colon cancer. You find out some things about menopause, and then you find out some things about, just all kind of exams, and
yes,
we need to know, hey, Mom, are you going to get your
yearly?
mammograms?
Yeah.
Are you going to get your your monthly your yearly test? Are you, Dad, have you got prostate? My uncle told me, CJ, when you go to the doctor, don't just let them do a regular colon test on you. No, we have colon cancer in our family. You need to go get a rectal
Come
exam.
on, learning the history of the family.
He also told me, he said, when you go, tell them to test your prostate. Tell them to test this. Tell them to test that. Tell them to test this.
That's good.
I'm going to the doctor thinking I'm doing the right thing. He says, no, you got to ask them for these panels. You got to ask them. So if I don't know what panels to ask for, I'm pretty sure my parents don't know what panels to ask for. So we need to actually start even doing more research and seeing, what is the family history? What do we need to go check for? And making sure your dad. When the last time Arthur got when the last time my dad even got colon testing, got cancer testing, they go to doctors. I've been to the doctor, but we gotta advocate and say, hey, do this and do that and go with them. And they may get cancer and say, you know what, I'm gonna get cancer, I'm going to die because I don't like treatment. But we could have probably avoided the cancer.
Yeah.
My mom had cancer, and man, this is something huge. She beat it, but didn't want to get the surgery. Now listen, I heard a doc. Now everybody say, well, the old folks say when you get cut on, the cancer gonna spread.
Yeah.
The doctor yesterday told me that was true.
Are you serious?
Another doctor says not.
Yeah. I don't know.
So we got.
I just know that, and that's why I say where you have to go get other opinions. I think that is important. That's one thing I did do when it came down to the surgery that I had to have. It is important to get, that's just something that I did. I'm glad I did it to get those different, just to get somebody else, because you need someone else to kind of give you direction, not just going one. And it goes back to what you said. Everybody, we all make mistakes. We're human. But if you get different, and I need a doctor that's a believer too on top of that. But anyway, I would say this too, though, when it comes to advocating for the health, and I'm so proud of you to watch you go to bat for your mom. Because one of the things, if you wouldn't have went to bat, if you didn't advocate, I will say this, 3 times, if he would not have advocated for her, she would not be here today. She would be gone.
Doctor literally called me and said, hey, I'm sorry to tell you, your mom has a bowel obstruction. We can't do anything for her. You need to go home and contact hospice. And I said, huh? I said, you mean to tell my mom finna die? He said, unfortunately, yes. He said, I give her days, maybe weeks.
Yeah.
This is 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And people want to say, oh, it was a miracle. No, it was a miracle that I was able to catch him. But I said, hold on, back up, man. Give it a little halt just 1 second. I said, she has left the hospital. MD Anderson sent her to you and said, go see your oncologist. What happened between MD Anderson down 59 to your office that now you telling she finna die? What did MD Anderson say? Oh, you didn't ask that question?
But you gonna call and tell me this? Yeah. Because he did a whole call. That was,
I said, he said, what they said? I said, they said she didn't have a bowel obstruction. Oh, well, let us do a scan. I almost said any word. So she go do the scan, gotta find out, oh, it's a minor bowel obstruction. Then her primary care doctor, Devin, didn't talk to the oncologist. Sends a hospice lady to the house. And say, since she's been in and out the hospital so much, we're gonna send hospice there. My mom comes and said, baby, hospice is here and they want me to send up a hospice. And I said, hold up. I don't know if I called Monica, I don't know how I found out. Yeah. I found out, hold up, that's gonna be permanent. I say, can she still get cancer treatment after? That's why I said, can you still get cancer treatment after this? She said, oh no, once we get started, we can't get cancer treatment. I said, well, get out my mama's house then.
Oh my God, I'm so
ashamed. Said, huh? I said, ma'am,
and he said it just like that.
Folks out of here, but I'm going to escort you out today. Yeah. I said, get out my mama's house and never come back again. And then another time they said that she was, I can't remember the third time they said that she was going to die again. And I said, oh, wait, man. And kind of I did a test on her and said she had absolutely zero bowel obstruction. And it's not that I'm down in the doctors. Mm-hmm. I have to hold them accountable.
I get it.
And I'm not going to be super spiritual. God says she should live and not die. No, God says she's going to die one day.
Right.
But it's not going to be because you gave up on her.
Right. That
And that's what I
part.
feel like.
And I think that's the part that's important when it comes to your parents is if you got to do the research, if you got to, I just knew seeing my dad the way he was, I was like, man, this cannot be normal. Like something has to give. And it was the scariest thing though, knowing that after they found out my dad, literally his pelvic, like his bones was running, Devin, they were rubbing together for years. Like we didn't even know this, but then he gets the surgery and it's like scary. The whole time we're terrified because anything can happen in surgery. We know that. Dad, do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
Is this something you want to do? But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of you, Daddy, because he went and started talking to other people in the family that had the surgery before him.
Mm-hmm.
They also had the surgery. So it was like, he got a chance to see that they're way better than it was before.
Life changing.
Life changing. So I say that to say this. It's also, I don't know how much time we got,
Yeah.
but I say that to say this. Okay. I'll say this to say that. I said that to say this is that even learning, go back to what I was saying about my dad and the land and his legacy and the stuff that my mom, both of them that are trying to gain for their children. I literally had a conversation with them because we had a conversation because of the situation with your mom, right? And so we had a conversation with our girls. I don't know if you want to share that first and then I share what.
You know, the key thing is that, I think I was getting worried because my mom, I didn't know where my mom wanted to get buried at. I mean, I went from one day my mom gonna live a long time, the next day my mom finna die. Then like, wow, it's a lot that I don't have ready for her to die.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how this came about, but I think that day it hit me that I don't know where my mom gonna get buried. I don't know where my mom, who she wants to preach a funeral. I'm not gonna preach it. I don't know, what funeral home she wants to go to. I don't even know what the color dress she want to get buried in. I don't know, who she wants to do her hair.
Which is hard conversations to have. Yeah.
Especially when you're in a condition where they just told you you're going to die.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'm trying to explain to her you're going to live, but let's prepare to die.
Right, all at the same time.
Death. And so and it hit me before I even met my mom, which I did meet my mom, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I tell my wife, I didn't even ask you. I didn't ask you.
No, you didn't. You just like, we finna go. I was like, I did not want to have this conversation.
I sent my children a message. I said, all y'all come to the house. My son-in-law too. I said, we got to talk.
Yeah.
And they all came. I thank God for my baby, Kiana. She came home with her husband, Markel, and Alana and Madison. And we had some hard conversations about where I decided that day that I will get buried where your family's at. The worst thing to happen is that I go out here, me and my wife die, and our kids have no instructions.
That part, man.
And still, we only probably 3/4 of the way out. We still got, 1/4 of the way out. We still got 3 other things we got to do. We got to finalize it, make it formal, and put it on legal binding documents, all that kind of stuff. But right now, at least they got part of it. We're going to finish it. But I sit there and we gave them passwords.
Yeah, we showed them where every account was, every password, our stocks, everything that they needed to know who wanted to be what.
Yeah, who's going to be our advanced director.
Yes, and who's going to make decisions. Yeah, if we were both under, if one of us was under, who's going to make the decision for the hospital or all of that. It was a hard conversation to have. But if you're going to build something and you're building all this stuff and you're, being an entrepreneur and all these nonprofits and all of that, there has to be something you got to put in place. Yep. Even with our nonprofit says that one of our children have to be on the board. Somebody from our family got to be on that board, has to be a part of that. And knowing that we're building something, but they don't know where to go. If something was to happen to me, we can be on a plane. We be going on a plane. We keep saying we're going to leave here together. Yeah. Us together.
We're saying it. We don't know. That could be tomorrow.
Yeah. We don't know when that may be. And so we had that conversation, and I felt responsible as a parent for my kids to know where everything is located.
So what we
and everything is
that the child needs to advocate for the parent, but while the parent is still in their right mind, they got to position their children to be able to advocate for them.
That part today.
Because, my mom got property and never want to think about the property before, right? But some situation happened to where I needed to talk about the property, and because I just didn't want anything to do with the property at first. But now I found out there's something called a TODD. That is huge. Didn't know about it. Because if your parent got property, you need to say, hey, mom, if you're the one that she wants to have the property, because heir property gets to be a mess. Especially if mama wants you to have it and everybody know it, but when mama died, mama didn't do the right stuff, you're going to be in trouble. So what you need to do, especially if they're sick or they're elderly, don't go get it deeded to your name. It can be fault. Go get what you call a TODD. It's called a transfer on death deed. Transfer on death deed. That means when
That's
she
some
dies,
good information, sir.
when she dies, the property is automatically transferred to you. You got the paperwork and you get it notarized. And if you got a lawyer, you get a lawyer to look at it and everything. But whenever she dies, that property goes over to me. I've talked to my brothers. I didn't hide it. I let them know what's going on. And guess what? Because why would I want this? I'm going to start picking the taxes up. Now, I be doggone. I'm like the mofos. The mofos say doggone. I be D, you know the rest. If I pay all this property tax and trying to get it caught up and she died and now everybody can move in and I ain't got nothing to say about it. Now that's going to tick a brother off, pastor, bishop, all. But I want to get the property caught up and who knows what we can do with it. But nobody else going to try to get the property up, but let her die. Everybody going to try to move on it. So you can do what you call a transfer on death deed. That was one thing I had to get. Another thing I had to get notarized. Thank God we got a great notary here. Shameless.
Yeah.
You need anything notarized, come right here to Hardin Enterprise Services LLC on site. We have a notary on site and she will do it for you. She have a fee.
The Monica Newsom.
Monica Newsom. I love her to death. She went to my mama's house with me and notarized them there. That means she's a mobile notary. She can come to you. But I had to get also a power of attorney.
Yeah.
Power of attorney is so important. Power of attorney gives you the right. Don't get put on your parents' bank account, because if you get put on your parents' bank account, the money in their account is still able to be hit with what you call probate. But if you're not on the account, if you're the power of attorney, you can go get the money out and probate can't come after you. That's another thing. That's some good information again.
Yes, it is, man.
So we had to get a power of attorney. Then we had to get a medical power of attorney.
Yes. Yeah.
Medical power of attorney is something different. And I would not make my power of attorney and my medical power of attorney the same person.
No.
Because that means the medical power of attorney can go ahead and knock me out so they can go ahead and get the money.
Right.
At least have one child fighting for me. No,
Right.
mama not going to die. Daddy not going to die. She said, hold up, I need him to die because they got the money.
Right.
So you have them two separate people.
And we did that with our kids. We got two separate kids and we told them, like, we want to put it even to the point with things that we got to work on when it comes to trust, to where we're able to tell them, y'all, this is what we want to do with this. And that's the part we have to do as their parent to make sure that it's done right when we leave here today.
And one thing
not today.
Any day.
Jeez, any day. No, not today. But any day.
When I tell you the transfer on death deed has to be filed at the tax assessor's office before they lose their state of mind, their sanctity. So we recorded it. We recorded she was in her right mind. We recorded it. We do video record the whole process. But you can't just get that transfer on death deed and hold it. It has to be filed at the tax assessor's office on or before the date they lose their mind. If they lose their mind, better off, because now it can be said that you manipulated them to sign this document.
Right.
These are things that we had to do. And guess what? I'm going to do to my children. Because right now, if we die, we got to make sure that it's going to be, I'm probably going to go to them and that it's not any other issues, problems like that. We'll get the notary come in and do power of attorney and all these things.
Right. And on top of that, I know because we want to do multiple real estates and making sure that they do right by people. So I know, like, seeing what us going through, and this is like fresh off the press, because this is something that we're experiencing in our now, is literally becoming the advocators for our parents, which is teaching us to prepare our children for the things that they need and what they need to do when it comes to us, and figuring out, because we knew the one we put over the medical. I was like, look, you gonna be the only one in sound mind. So we need you to do that. But you that's over the money, you gonna make sure they ain't gonna do wrong about this money. So I think that's just making sure you know and having that conversation. We don't meet anymore. We gotta meet we meet, our family meet big, but I'm saying that to the audience is that we gotta make sure that we're meeting and having these hard conversations because we're not getting older. I mean, we're not getting younger. We're getting older. So it is so important to make sure that whatever you're leaving, all of this stuff that you're building, you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
So you might as well make sure that someone else is able to reap the harvest of what you built. I think that's so important. Allow them to reap the harvest of what you've built. That's what you call building a legacy. The Bible even says that when you make sure that you leave an inheritance for your children, man, that's you're a blessed person to be able to leave that inheritance. But you can't leave an inheritance if you ain't told them about it.
Yeah.
You got to tell them. So
if you watched it to this point, I'm gonna do something for you, and I hope you watched it to this point. In the link below, look in the description. I'm gonna put a link to an advance directive, and I'm gonna put a link to it that we have on our database of data. But it's lists. I mean, it has everything down to passwords to all the things you have in your name to whatever. It has. I mean, place you want to get buried, and I think we need to actually fill that. We talked about it. We need to fill that advance directives out, so they have that in a safe, in my gun safe, and they able to get into that safe and get to it. But in the link, if you click the description at the bottom, do me a favor, and it's going to say advance directive link. I want you to click it, and I want you to download it, and you get access to it. Complete that. We're 46 years old, and at this point, as we're getting older,
don't be trying to tell my age on this thing. Go on, finish.
You just said it's your birthday.
I don't care. I ain't told nobody my age.
46 years old, and we got to do two things. Number one, we have got to become more, take more ownership in the wellness of our elders.
Yeah,
they don't embrace getting old. They don't embrace getting limited. I'm going to call it that.
Yeah, limited. That's good.
They don't embrace getting limited. They don't embrace that I can't drive like I used to. They don't embrace it. I may not need to be home by myself without a life alert. I got an uncle right now. I'm worried about him. He's a very handsome guy. He's a eligible bachelor, but he's getting old. Uncle, you need a life alert. Some of y'all need to get and get those seats to put on the toilets for your parents where they can lift themselves up. So think if you see them moving kind of slow and they kind of slowly get up from a couch, how hard do you think it is for them to get off the toilet?
Yeah.
Mom, you may need some bars in the bathroom. We're gonna get you some don't even ask. Mom, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Don't say it, then they gotta pay for it. Now they gotta use their limited income to pay for it. No, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put you some bars, safety bars in the bathroom. We're gonna get you a seat. Put in the bathroom. We're gonna take that tub out, Mama, and we're gonna remove that tub. We're gonna put a
shower in there.
Walk-in shower in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a seat in there for you, Mama. We're gonna put a shower that you can grab and shower with. Versus you have to stand up under the tub. Mom, we're gonna put some slip resistance things. We don't think about these things. We just let Mama live and Dad live, and one slip could listen. An older person hip break.
Yep, that's what happened to my grandmother. My grandmother, Nana, she fell at the nursing home, broke her hip, and it was downhill from there.
We did a lady's house. Devin,
oh my God, yes, recently.
She walked in the house, saw it, moved in overnight. Next morning, fell in the front yard, broke her hip, never made it home from the hospital. 84, 85 years old.
Yeah, passed away. Miss what was her name?
No, we can't say
I can't say her name. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was it. She broke her hip.
Yeah. So you don't realize the things that you could do, and you say, oh, Mama just got old. No, Mama wasn't. And we don't look at it. The word my mama uses like hurt my feelings. Mama says she feel like we neglecting her. Now she's saying it because she ain't getting what she want. We doing everything we can.
She wanted her to rub. Brother Devin wanted them to rub her back. I said, now you over there acting spoiled. Stop it.
I
needed somebody to rub my back. Y'all just neglecting me. I say you need to quit. A mess.
Get that lotion over there, baby. Lotion up my legs, baby. I got over there and I got that lotion. I lotioned up my legs. And I guess I didn't last long enough. That's it. Mama, what she 80? She ain't 80, man.
She younger than my daddy.
Yes,
need to quit.
She born in 62.
Yeah.
But so I was kind of, I really want to talk about this today. Because I feel like it's so many people who don't know. We literally take for granted. Mom and Daddy raised us. They good.
And I think that may just be our generation because we are getting older.
Yeah.
And I think it's just new to us. And maybe, the baby boomers, they done been through it. They done took care of their parents. And now it's our turn. Huh?
Did they?
Did they? Some of them did.
I think a lot of
I don't know. You're not going to do that.
A lot of the baby boomers were the ones who left, and they really didn't. I'm not going to speak for the baby boomers, But from my visual perspective, I seen a lot of baby boomers be distant from their parents. They did only what was necessary, which created in us to think that that's the way we do it. No different than this.
That's true.
A lot of us got out of school and we graduated, and as soon as we graduated, the next day we was gone.
Right.
So we thought that was right. And now we look at our kids like,
why you ain't going?
You need to stay here a little longer.
Baby, please stay here. You ain't ready to move.
So nothing gets a baby boom, but I
get it.
I know what I seen, and what I seen was distance.
But what I'm saying is that we're getting older. They're getting older.
Yeah.
And I think this is something new for us, not necessarily new for them.
Yeah.
But we decided to do something different.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they did. I'm just saying, this is so new to me. I wouldn't have never thought that I would have to go in and sit in the doctor's office with my dad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have never thought that I would have to go and check on him or call him and say, don't you get on that tractor. Be still. Where y'all going? Or call my mama and say, are you taking medicine? What have you taken? Yeah. Not knowing that I would get there, because they always took care of us. They always made sure we were good. Yeah. But now we're doing that. This is new to me. So this is like a new. So we speak. I feel like this. We've been together 26 years, right? We've done a lot of stuff together. We have literally. I'm sorry, it's a bug. We have literally buried our grandmothers together. Yep. We have literally seen our parents now go through what they go through. And it's like, even burying our grandmothers, that was different. Yeah. That's different. This is so different. And it's learning how to do life together as a married couple, even being there with you while you're experiencing this with your mom, even being there with you with the chaos with your dad, being there, me with the chaos with my mom, when all the stuff went down my mom. Man,
being there, a whole different dynamic
with me and my grandmother, watching my grandmother pass away. Yeah. Like being there together. I think this, and I know we got to go, is that it makes you realize in a marriage that, and I heard someone say this the other day, that you realize you cannot marry just because of conditions. Yeah. You got to marry because we're in this thing.
They said, I want to marry a person that I'm willing to stand beside a hospital bed, beside a hospital bed with a loved one in it. Yeah. Who I want to marry is somebody I want to stand beside when I'm standing beside my loved one in a hospital bed. Yeah. If I marry you and I don't want to stand beside you while my mama dying,
that's a problem. That's a whole problem.
That's a problem.
But I think that goes to show you that marriage, this is the fullness of marriage for us. This is a different level of marriage for us.
We talked about if our children...
Wait, babe, I want to finish this part, though. This is a different level of marriage for us. And I wouldn't want to do this with no one else. Me neither. Because I wouldn't have never thought we would be here. I would never thought you would be here in this place with your parents, with your dad, with your mom. Wouldn't have never thought we would be here with me, my mom, my dad. Wouldn't have never thought I'd be able to live by my mom. Yeah. And now we're living by my mom. And it's okay. Like, I never would have thought that we would be here. And I think to be on this journey, to allow it to be new and allow it to be different, I'm learning the power of grace.
Yeah, that's huge.
And I think that's important to have. And that's why you can't marry with the condition of you got to do A, because there's moments. Yeah. And this here's a moment to watch your mom decline. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. That was heavy.
I found out that I'm not consoled well. I don't.
No, Brother Devin, I be like, yeah. Anyway, we ain't finna talk about this on this podcast because you do hard. That's why I say I have to give you grace because it's like I go to rub him and no, not right now, no. I'm like, I just want to console you. This is a hard time.
Consoling me is like if a person ever seen somebody get burnt by fire, don't touch me because when you touch me and make me feel, I don't want to feel. Yeah. I don't want to feel. Let me just go through emotions
and that's deep. Like that's a deep place to be with with someone you've been with, and you have to understand that and embrace that. Yeah. And I've been watching you do this journey, and it's to see how you're taking care of your mom. It's amazing to see. Even if she never sees it, she'll never know,
and I don't care,
and it doesn't matter.
And I say this here, right, for anybody who watching. I'm sorry.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Anybody who watching, I'll say this here, right. Like I said in the beginning, me and my mom didn't have a great relationship. So why do you do it? Me and my mom did not. I mean, my mom just not here recently as she was going through cancer treatment, I don't know if you're watching this, while she was going through her first cancer treatment, she dogged me out, man. And I said, Mom, she left my house and she talked about me so bad. And
that's another thing when your parents got to come live with you.
Yeah,
she
talked so bad and talked about my whole household and everything. So
yes, she did.
Back in the day, I just wrote off. And some people say, why? So why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep doing this? Two things. Number one, I know my limit. I know what I can take. Number one, but number two, I've made in my mind, Devin, that if my mom dies, I've made in my mind what I want God to think about me, and I want to make sure when mom dies, I want God to say, He did everything He could to give her a chance to live.
Yeah,
that's it. Listen, I didn't make her comfortable. I didn't give her, no, I did everything I could to give her a chance to live. Yeah. And that's what I call advocating.
And I always say to that person that says, okay, well, I'm not there with my parents at all. I am you and you are me, not with my parents, but I ain't gonna put them out there like that. But maybe that is you and you don't have that type of relationship. And it's okay. And that's the part where okay, I've done my piece. You got to be okay.
But you need to make sure you do everything possible now to be okay, because you got to start making some things. If my parent die, will I be okay? And if you're not, you need to do everything you can now
to make sure that
position
you're okay.
yourself, because you don't know what that's going to feel like on the other side of that.
Right. What you said.
Yeah. I know. I'm just thinking about that because I'm sorry I cut you off again.
No, you fine. It be on your mind. You got to get it out. Yeah. It's one of those. But listen, I hope this helped y'all. I hope I don't know. This is Unscripted, where we definitely wanted to kind of share what Bishop, this was thing he wanted to talk about. And I think it's important. You can't build this big old legacy, this big old business, this big old whatever, where you're giving back to other people and then you don't advocate for your own family. Yep. That's a problem.
Any advice you want to leave for the folk, Devin? You've been doing this longer than us.
People ain't always going to be there.
People are not going to always.
You cannot sign folks up to be there. You can only be there. Devin, that's good. You may be doing this by yourself.
Yeah, and you got to be okay with that. Yeah. Everybody, even the loved ones that you think are going to be there, are not going to be the ones that's there.
Yeah,
and you got to be okay with that.
It's a lonely walk.
It is.
And you may not get a thank you.
Yep.
You may not get our appreciation. Matter of fact, you may even get some entitlement. When you think they don't even owe it or deserve it, once again, you got to make sure you're good.
Yeah. That part today.
So I want to pray real quick for anybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Father God, we come right now saying thank you, Lord, for those who hung out this whole entire podcast, Lord. And I pray over my mom. I pray over my dad. I pray over everyone who's going through moments, God, where they need advocating for, Lord. But most of all, God, we come praying right now, Lord, even over my father-in-law, Lord, and his situation, my mother-in-law. But God, I pray also for that person right now, Lord, who is in that fight, that battle, like, man, I want to be there, but man, I've been hurt, I've been scarred. Or right now I'm trying to be there, but I'm being hurt, I'm being scarred. God, I pray, God, that you give them the peace and the understanding to know their limits, that they go to therapy if they need therapy, Lord, that they're able to limit themselves and position themselves to make sure in the middle of helping someone else's health, they're not losing their mental health, Lord. But God, I pray, God, over the understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom, and Lord, then the flexibility to even let other people into their life to be able to advocate for them. I pray for that mother, that father, God, that uncle, that aunt, Lord, whoever needs advocating, Lord, I pray, Lord, you soften their hearts. But Lord, also I pray over that person who knows my day may come soon, that we become more proactive in letting our children in. Prepare our relationship with God. Family is important. If I ever knew anything now, I know family is important. Children is important to parents. Parents are important to children. Lord, let us begin to start healing and repairing our relationships so that we'll have those there for us when we need them. And we can be able to be there for those when they need us. We love you and we adore you. In your name, pray for that, Father. Amen.
Amen. Thank y'all for rocking out. Have a good one. Peace out.